How to scale your Facebook ad account from $100 a day. Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm here to help you really begin to win at Facebook. And this is a question I get all the time, so I felt like let's do a dedicated video to just how do you start to begin to win when you have a budget that's really small, but you're doing something well and you want to scale your business. There's several different ways about it. I know that I can help you through it. These are tried and tested ways that have been working for people for years. There's nothing groundbreaking. There's nothing like complicated. There's nothing really difficult about this. It's a simple process of how you really utilize the assets in front of you, and I'm here to help make it easy. Once again, hi, I'm Charlie. This is how you scale your Facebook ad account starting at $100 a day. Let's go. So, first, you got $100 a day to spend on your ad account, which means you probably have a business that's at least somewhat successful and you're getting something going on, and mazel tov to you for that. That isn't easy. I want you to start off by knowing that you're in a great place. Now, there are two big principles that I really want to help you focus in on. And there is something that a lot of people will teach that's dead fucking wrong. So let's deal with what's absolutely the thing you shouldn't do. What you absolutely should not do is try to start a bunch of different ad sets and try to start to win in a bunch of different places and spend your money in a bunch of different areas to effectively try to get lucky. Businesses don't succeed and grow built on the back of hard work and getting lucky. That's not a sustainable model. And it's not something that you can rely on to succeed in your business long term. So let's not even start that way. Because if you start that way, you're going to deal with a lot of problems for a long time. And I don't want you to deal with a lot of problems for a long time. I want you to succeed. I want you to get easier and easier as it gets bigger and bigger. That's what this is all about. So, first point is built around the idea that you're getting business. You're getting traffic. Maybe you have an organic effort. Maybe you've got some attention. Maybe there's SEO. Maybe there's something else going on. And Facebook is something you have incremental to the rest of your business. Now, normally, if you've heard me say things all the time, it's like go prospecting, go broad, creative, testing, crush from there. But at $100, maybe you don't have the budget for that. Or maybe you're getting something from somewhere else that you can really start to leverage. And for what it's worth, like I highly recommend that you have a good organic strategy. I highly recommend that you try to get traffic from places where it will get you more and more traffic over time, whether it's affiliates, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, get some traffic. Now, this is assuming that you have traffic and you're not relying on Facebook to be what makes or breaks your business. Because honestly, if Facebook is what's going to make or break your business, you're probably not in a good way to begin with. But let's say you're getting some stuff. How do we take advantage of it? Instead of going broad for prospecting, let's go broad at retargeting. And what I mean here is let's find all of the people that you could potentially test your creative against and leverage for success. Now, I teach a lot of time this concept of broad retargeting. Now, what it means is maybe it's the largest audience of people that have shown some level of intent. And, whatever a large enough audience is for you to be able to deliver consistent results with. Now, that might be everybody that added to cart in the last month. It might be everybody that's been to your web page in the last 6 months. Ideally, what we want is an audience large enough to spend that money in a way where our frequency is going to deliver us a consistent basis of sales. And what I mean by that is the daily frequency. How many times a day are you reaching the same person? Now, inside of retargeting, generally speaking, you want to have a higher frequency than your prospecting. It should be able to reach somebody 1.5, 2.5 times a day. There's going to be an optimal frequency for whatever audience that you're using, and there's no direct best answer. But what I can say is there is a direct correlation between the audience that you're using and an ideal daily frequency. So it's going to be whatever that looks like for you. Ideally, you're going to try to keep your CPMs low. So you don't want to reach people 2.5, 3.5 times, because once you reach 2.5, 3.5 times, you're going to start to see your CPMs spike. And you're going to also see real problems with estimated action rate because people are already ignoring your ads. So maybe what we can do is try to find an audience that's large enough for you to spend your budget against, and small enough to have quality. Ideally, this audience might be in the 2 to 5,000 person range. At $100 a day, if that audience is, say, 3,000 people, and you're reaching everybody 2 times, you could expect to see a CPM, a cost per 1,000 impressions, of maybe $30, $40. Now, that sounds really bad, but if you're getting sales every day, then who cares about the cost of the CPMs? Because it's what's most important is your CPA. Are you getting enough sales to make your business successful? And this takes a little bit of guesswork. It takes a little bit of, trying things out. But ideally, you're going to find an audience that you can spend money against every day that delivers sales every day. What you want more than anything is consistent results. Once you can find that audience, you're in a really good place. I highly recommend making several custom audiences and seeing what is the size of this audience. Now, you can go into your audience section inside of Facebook and build out several of them. Try site traffic the last 6 months, site traffic the last week. Add to carts for the last 6 months. Add to carts from the last month. Add to carts from the last 3 days. Whatever it happens to be for you. But ideally, that audience will be several thousand people. If it's less than 1,000, it's too small. Honestly, if it's less than 2,000, it's probably too small. But the idea is that this is a large enough audience for you to spend that $100 a day against. And a small enough and a high enough quality audience so you're getting continuous results. And that's where you do your creative testing. Now, this is relying on you having traffic from another source. And remember, if Facebook is the only source of traffic and you only have $100 a day, if your product costs more than like $15 to sell, you're probably not going to be able to get out of the learning phase. So you have to rely on not using machine learning to your benefit, but actual audience segmentation. You're going to have to use Google best practices on Facebook because you can't utilize what Facebook does best. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't use Facebook, but it means that you have to change your strategy. So anyway, that's my recommendation for number 1. Number 2 is if you can only spend $100 a day and you're focusing on trying to get to scale your business. A lot of people think that scaling their business means scaling their spend. And absolutely, the more money you spend, theoretically, the better you're going to do. But also the more money you spend, the higher your cost per sale is going to be, which basically means you're going to get less and less efficient, which means that your dollars are going to work. Well, they're going to do far less and less work with every penny you spend. And you're going to see your cost per rise and rise and rise. And this happens all the time because the auction is literally defined as budget and estimated action rate. Write that down on a sheet of paper. Nail it to your brain. Understand that those are the 2 levers that you have. A better ad or budget. If you lower your budget, you're likely to get more efficient. If you have a better ad, you're likely to get more efficient. So the other way of scaling your business is don't worry about scaling your spend. Worry about scaling your results. Focus on getting more and more efficient. I see this, honestly, I want to go some astronomical number. I'm going to say 94 out of 100 media buyers I talk to say, I'm hitting my target cost per. How do I double my spend? As soon as you double your spend, you're going to see your cost pers skyrocket. Because you're telling Facebook that you want to pay more. And because that bid is the budget and the estimated action rate, you're going to lose efficiency. If instead of trying to ramp up your spend, if you focused on, say you're getting 10 sales for that $100, let's try to get 11 or 12 for that $100. Not only are you getting more purchases, which basically means you're making more profit because you're getting more revenue for that same amount of spend, but you're also feeding the system so that it understands it as a larger data set of what more efficient buyers look like. Facebook is trying to deliver you consistent results. So give it an example of something you want more consistency of. If you were getting $10 buyers, but now you can get it down to 8, that means the next buyer is more likely to look like an $8 buyer instead of a 10. Now, if you get if you get it from 10 down to 8, what happens when you push your budget by 10% or by 20 or by 50? Maybe you lose $1 of efficiency. And where $10 you were like, I want to double my budget. If you can get it down from 10 to 8 and you increase your budget by like 50%, well, not only are you getting 20% more sales for every dollar you spend, but as you push your spend by 50% and you double that spend, well, now you're getting 80% more sales in a way that is sustainable and stable. And as soon as you then get another 10% efficiency on that number at the same spend, well, now you're more than doubled your results. So I want you to think about Facebook not as I hit my goal, how do I increase my spend? Scaling your business is built around several concepts, and I want you to really start to look at it that way. So I hope that helps. Once again, hi, I'm Charlie. This is how to scale your ad account starting at $100 a day. Best of luck to you. I have a feeling you're going to do pretty well. Comment below if you need anything. Sub, all of that fun stuff. And I think over here, we're going to see a fun little video that maybe you should watch next. And sub there. All right, cool.